Hey, how's y'all doing today? Today I'm going to do a how-to. I've been getting a lot of questions on my Instagram and on my TikTok. What are you using to catch these snakeheads? How are you doing it? So we're going to go through today and kind of quick little explanation. You know, I want y'all to try and figure out some things on your own, but I'm going to give you a good start. So let's start off with the rods. So this is a 7-foot medium heavy rod, fast action, and there it is right there. Powered by Favorite, and this is the Defender series, and they're great rods. I just started using these, and I gotta say, I've caught some nice snakeheads on them, and they have the backbone to power them out of whatever. And what I'm using is a 30-pound braid. I tie the line straight to the bait with a polymer knot, and as you can see, this is one of my favorite go-to baits. It's just a white frog that floats, but it works great. And I'm using a Pin Battle. This is a 4000 series. It caught a lot of fish. I've got to replace it. I might go with Shimano next because the Shimano is a lot lighter. It's a heavy reel, but it's got the power to crank in anything. Okay, so with the baits, as you'll notice, these frogs right here. So a snakehead has a very hard mouth, and it's very hard to set the hooks. So what I do is I take the hooks that come on them and I just take a pair of pliers and bend them out a little bit. It increases your hookup chances a lot, because when you get them fresh out of the package, you'll see they're a little bit more closed than that, and you'll miss a lot of fish. I'm telling y'all, bend them open just an 1/8 of an inch, and it'll increase your chances by 90% of hooking up. So let's move on to what else we use. This right here is probably my favorite setup, and it's a Favorite rod, Defender. And this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod. And then I've got a Shimano Calcutta 200 GTB reel on there. I've reeled in 56-pound rockfish with this setup right here. And I tell you, if you can reel in a 56-pound rockfish just jigging, you'll be able to pull any snakehead in the world. It's got a high line retrieval, which is good. You know, it's a smooth reel, great drag system. That's what you want, great drag system, because what you're going to want to do is when you're fishing tight cover, you're going to be pitching it right into that tight cover, because that's where the snakeheads live. And one of my favorite lures that I'm using is right here. It's just a chatterbait. The plain old chatterbait. They work great. It seems like they really irritate the fish. And what you'll notice a lot of times, if you're in smaller fish, they're just going to bite right here. And you'll feel it, because this blade will stop spinning when something pulls on it. So there's really no way to fix that one, just find bigger fish. And I've got 30-pound braid on this as well, and I tie it straight to it. You can tie a leader on if you like. If I'm fishing heavy cover with a lot of sticks, I usually do a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader. And the way that I attach it to the braid is a Alberto knot. And I've done a video on the Alberto knot before, so if you haven't seen it and you want to know how to do it, scroll through my page, it's in there somewhere. And all of my baits that I get them from Bay Country Crab and Supply in Edgewater, Maryland. He has a large selection of snakehead baits, and he's probably got one of the best selections that I've seen. So, you know, check him out. He's a great guy. Dan owns it, and he's got everything for snakeheads. So let's go on to some other baits that we can use. So we've covered the chatterbait. We've covered the frog. Like I said, all of these frogs, take and bend those hooks out 1/8 of an inch. Open them up 1/8 of an inch, if that helps you out. These little guys right here work phenomenal, but you know, very rarely do you catch a big snakehead on them. So now this right here is a snakehead destroyer. You can see I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's teeth marks all in it. I've caught a lot of big snakeheads on this. The old Whopper Plopper, a great lure to use. Remember that. These right here, everything, a little popping frogs, you know, mice, frogs, mice, pretty much whatever they eat, you know, is all right here. Now, getting into the big fish section. When you want to try and catch big snakeheads, you want to throw big lures that, you know, an aggressive big lure. This right here is one of my favorites. This is a Bomber Badonkadonk, and it's a floating lure. So when you're going to use this, is you'll see fry ball. on top of the water. You'll know what the fry ball look like. You know, just look back through my Instagram and TikTok. You'll see videos of fry ball. It's huge. You know, they're huge. And what you want to do is cast past the fry ball. And then when you get up to the fry ball, start popping and jerking this aggressively. And that mother will come out and engulf this. Sometimes she'll just come up and nudge it, but guess what? If she nudges it, one of those deadly little jokers is gonna get her. So, what other kind of baits can you use? I got a mess here. This is another topwater bait, and this is just like a chugger. They work great when you see the fry balls and you get right into the middle of it, pop it really hard, and then you'll see all them fry just scatter. It's a phenomenal bait to use. And like I said, they've got treble hooks. Even if she just comes up and mouths it, you're gonna catch her because it's gonna hook her. Here's an even bigger whopper plopper, you know, for the really big fish. And these are deadly phenomenal baits. Now when you get into the really big ones, which I've caught 2 on this. And this is a handmade cedar plug that I got from a guy in Massachusetts. And they're awesome. You know, topwater lure, and works great. So, what else can we tell y'all about snakeheads? You know, they're aggressive. They live in thick cover. So, that's the thing. You know, these treble hooks sometimes, when you got duckweed and the grass is sitting, you know, that low below the surface of the water, the problem you're gonna have with these is they sit like this. So this back hook is gonna catch. So you just wanna make sure you constantly keep it clean because they will not hit it if it's got grass on it. Another good, here's one of my chatterbaits that I love using. That color, that black and red. Aggressive, threatening colors, and you gotta be aggressive with your retrieve. Let me show you how I do this with the frog. So there's no snakeheads over here. We done caught them all. But what you're gonna wanna do is, the other thing I like about these rods is you can cast them a mile as long as you have the right setup. And I mean, it's named the Sniper for a reason. It's a very accurate rod. So I'll take and cast it out there, and then you're just gonna go like this with that frog. And when that fish sees it and you're coming through that fry ball, say I'm coming up on fry ball right now, I'm gonna take and go like this and get it, you know, get that fry ball all acting aggressive, you know. And that mama fish is gonna come up because she doesn't want nothing eating her fish. And she is gonna knock the living snot out of it, you know. But the problem with these, like I said, if she just comes up and noses it, just like, hey, get the heck out of my space, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna throw on a badonkadonk or a whopper plopper, something with treble hooks, because if she noses it, it's gonna get her. Now with these chatterbaits, the way that I like to throw these out is I'm running it. You'll feel it hit grass, and you just pop it like this, and that'll usually knock the grass off. But you want to go a pretty quick retrieve, and you'll know when they hit it because they will daggone near jerk the rod out of your hands. You know, I guess if y'all have any questions, drop me a DM and let me know. They're fun to catch, and I don't think you're ever going to get rid of them because they're here to stay, and especially with the amount of fry balls that I see on a daily basis. Here, I can show you. I got a couple in the cooler here that we caught earlier today. I mean, there's one. There's another one. There's another one. And there's one. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, you know? Oh, yeah, and they're slimy. Slimy critters. But I will tell you what, the table fare is dynamite. Phenomenal table fare. And I mean, if you want to catch fish like this, just use what I told you today in this little video and go out there and do it to it. Like I said, they're hard to catch. They're hard to hook, not hard to catch. Hard to hook. You know, so just use what I taught you in this video today and go out there and give it a shot. And if y'all have any questions, drop me a DM. Thanks a lot, guys.